Since 1994, Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls and you, Rockie Jacobsen, have been on the cutting edge of elk call technology. And here we are in 2021, and yet again, you've done it with the new lineup this year, the Bull.
Right. That's my new signature series line of calls. Through all the years that I've been designing calls, I've kind of kept a few things in the back of my mind that I could create something maybe a little better, a little new cutting edge. And that's what I've done here. I've put together some things that I've learned through the 30 years of building and designing calls, and I'm kind of topping it off now with the experience, I guess what you want to say.
Let's talk about the innovation that you've built into your new Bull Basher Bugle Tube. From rim to rim, what makes this different than any tube you've made before?
Okay, and there's a lot of combinations in this tube that I've put together to create that depth, that good heavy growls, the good octave changes, and most important, you can get the volume. Out of this tube, it'll create more volume than the biggest tube on the market right now. The first, like 12 inches, or it's about 11 inches long, is made out of plastic. And plastic, to me, creates better depth. So then I brought that 11 inches up and I combined it with an insert of a aluminum insert that goes in. It's 9.5 inches long, so it goes inside the tube. The aluminum creates the volume. Inside the tube, you can look down in there.
Yeah.
It's what I call the splitter. And the splitter is kind of an upgrade to the vet system where it has a coil spring. And the splitter has helicals on the fins in there that acts like the vanes on an arrow.
Yeah.
The vanes on the arrow stabilize your airflow. And this splitter in here will stabilize your air and create the airflow to hit perfectly into this chamber. And it makes it so you can blow the tube easier and control the octave changes, and it gives you the volume you want. It's really a neat little apparatus that goes inside of it. We've got a nice neoprene soft cover that goes the full length, and then we put the camel cover over part of this plastic onto, because aluminum gets cold.
Absolutely.
So you got that neoprene to hang on to so your hands stay warm, and it also helps create a deeper, richer sound.
So what you're saying with this call is you have the best of both worlds. You have some of the aluminum technology for volume, you have some of the plastic technology that gives us those great sounds that we've really grown to love as elk callers. When we hear these, certain bugles, we love the way they sound, and this really has it all. So why don't you kind of give us a demo of how this sounds and some sounds that you can make with this bugle. It's the smallest adjustments on these calls that make such a tremendous difference in the sound that's broadcasted. And it also has a lot to do with the caller too, how they're using the diaphragm, the type of sounds that they're using on a diaphragm, which leads us into our next conversation, which is the diaphragms. And you have 3 new signature diaphragms this year alone.
And we're going to start off with this black one called the Raptor. It's got some great cow sounds. It sounds like your older cows, and it's got your herd bull sound effects. If you're really good with a diaphragm, you can get the calf sounds on and stuff, but it's designed to sound a little older because it's a little lower tone, it's a little hollower sound.
This call is super intuitive. You just pick it up and blow it. It fits nice in your mouth. The sounds are consistent, and it's easy to use. I'm a big fan of the metal top calls. The plastic tops for me aren't my favorite. I don't get my favorite sounds out of them, and that's the great thing about these diaphragms. There's a lot of different diaphragms on the market for people to kind of pick them up, see which one you personally like the sound of, because these 3 calls all make a little different sound, which is nice if you want to vary how you make your herd talk sound in the woods too.
Yeah, this is the Raptor of the Bull Signature Series by Rockie Jacobsen, and I did the cow call a little while ago, so now this is a bugle sound. Very controllable sound, very realistic sound. It's easy to do,
Yeah.
and it's probably one of my favorite calls that I've ever designed. The blue one is called the Elk Slayer.
Yes.
It gives you a little different pitch quality, and what I'm after is trying to change the tone pitches so elk can't key in on what you're doing. It's not really what we call a beginner call, but it is. But a professional can use this call and really make it work good. It just has a little pitch change. It's a little higher pitch, so you're getting younger cow sounds, and you're getting your calf sound, and then you get your satellite bull sound. If you're real good with it, you can do it a herd bull sound by adding your voice in there a little bit. But here's the cow sound. The calf. And I'm going to do the satellite bulls, which is designed to do.
So Elk Slayer, I'm going to run this one really quick and kind of see how I feel about how it sounds. I can definitely hear the more juvenile sounds with this. To me, the way I call with it is a little higher toned. It sounds really good, but you definitely, I feel like I get a lot more mature sounds, more nasally sounds, more dynamic sounds with more of an estrus almost tone
Right.
with this one.
And you will. That's
Yeah.
why it's designed that way. You can't design a call, one call to do everything. It just can't be done.
So kind of in a summary, the Raptor's gonna give you those really guttural bugles, more estrus, mature sounding cow sounds, and just really give you that kind of hot cow, hyper bull sounds that are deep and just kind of that herd sound. The Elk Slayer is going to do more, you're going to be able to do more cow-calf talk, a little bit more juvenile sounds, satellite bull type sounds out of the bugles. You can still get some really good octaves changed, but it's not going to have quite that punch that the Raptor is going to give you. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
This one's my favorite. It's double. Double. The awesome thing about this is there's so many people out there that have latex allergies, and they can't use latex calls because they are sensitive to that. Double is a non-latex call, so anybody could use it, even if you have a latex allergy, which is super awesome.
Right.
But I love this call. To me, I picked it up and I blew it a couple times in the camper last night, and I was like, oh, Rocky, this is the one for me.
The one. You can do everything on this call as far as, it doesn't matter if it's latex or non-latex. It has sounds that are unreal, but it's got some awesome sounds to it. Your cow sound, I almost take off there. It's so easy. Go ahead. So smooth and nasally. It's really cool.
I like it. Let's hear your bugles with this one.
Okay. You hear that when I did that two note, how clean it was?
It's like a lake in the morning, just smooth like glass. It's amazing.
And it carries so well out here in the woods.
And last but not least, On Fire.
Yeah, the new On Fire cow call. You want to fire up your next bull? Get the On Fire.
And it's crazy. With this call, it is small.
Yes.
And we've been using external reed cow calls forever, and they're usually these big, giant, clunky things that, I put it around my neck and it's smashing into the waist belt on my backpack, and it's big. This is little.
And if you want higher notes, then you slide it out towards the end. So you're getting variations of younger cows, middle-sized cows, and your older cows. And also, on the end of the reed, you notice the little forked tongue. The forked tongue. Most open reeds like that are either rounded or they're square across. And that makes it vibrate more so. So when you get that raspy, harsh sound, that's where it's coming from, because it's square and you're operating the whole face of that diaphragm, or that reed. And it sits there and so by cutting that notch on there, it eliminates a lot of that facial, so it gives you those nice, subtle little touches.
You can hear just repositioning it in my mouth just slightly. I go from a higher mew to a much lower mew.
Have you noticed one thing else too? Does it tickle your lips as much?
No, there's no tickling in my mouth. It's easy to blow, and it's got great sound.
Yep.
This is the bull series from the herd bull himself.
All right.